All right, we're live. Gelato is the strain of the day.
What episode is this? 5?
This is number 5.
Damn.
Number 5. And I wanted to, real quick, I wanted to say that yesterday there was a full moon, I think. And then there was also a lunar eclipse in the afternoon. And I could tell my job because the kids were kind of wild. But it was cool, I had energy and shit, so it was a good day. Nothing bad happened. But then they had all those tornado warnings and shit. And you said something touched down?
Yeah, that storm system extended from Canada all the way to Mexico. Like, that's how far this whole storm connected with each other. So there were tornadoes that touched down to Tennessee, to Arkansas, Oklahoma, Louisiana.
Did it start from like a hurricane or some shit?
I can't honestly tell you. I saw it seen on the news that they had something come from the northwest, and then it just started picking up strength as it came down here. That's how far it extends from Canada to Mexico. So we got a bit of it yesterday. A little bit worse than other parts.
We saw snow today in Dallas for the first time in like 6 years, bro. In 2012, I had pictures with like when it stuck on the ground and shit. Like it was snow. And that's probably more than enough, right?
Yeah.
All right. Do y'all believe in HAARP? HAARP. Have you ever researched it? The government weather manipulator.
No. I've heard of stories of it, but I haven't really looked.
I mean, they even had it on the Discovery Channel. So it's official. It's not like a conspiracy theory, though. They don't have any like evidence of when and where they used it. But did you hear about in Iran when they had a little earthquake right by their fucking nuclear power plant?
Japan, the Fukushima.
No, in Iran.
Oh, in Iran. No, I didn't know that.
So that's kind of ironic. Good thing, I guess, on a positive note, because last time we didn't know what was going to happen. Right now, we know that ain't really going to be a war, I guess. Everything seems to kind of be set. Everybody's showing face. Iran didn't kill nobody, just shot some missiles, and it looks like ain't nobody trying to do shit. That's my interpretation of the situation right now.
Yeah, it's only been a week. You still gotta give it some time.
Did you listen to the speech by Trump? I listened to some of it. A lot of people say he was coked up because he kept sniffing.
Those are tears in his eyes from freedom.
The audacity that these people would attack our freedom.
Those are tears of liberty. He's crying.
Well, honestly, man, you can't. Everybody's so quick to make judgments. It's like, no, you gotta let it play out. Let's see what happens. Because, I mean, we've seen this in history. When something happens to a kingdom, and somebody close to the king, let's say a bishop or something, gets murdered. Well, of course he's gonna act rashly because his closest right. I guess you can say this guy was his right hand man went down. So of course this guy's gonna act, irrationally,
Right,
and act on emotion instead of thinking things through. I mean, he launched missiles at about 127 missiles, and maybe none of them hit their targets.
Who's this?
This is Iran. This is the leader in Iran.
The one who
this is
assassinated?
he's dead. He's dead in the ground. I'm talking about the
Current general?
The leader, the king. I don't know what they call him. I don't know if they call him a sultan or
the quote unquote
I
president.
guess the guy that runs the country right now.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, when he went down, he acted irrationally. He made threats. He went through with those threats, even though they didn't do shit.
So you can use a guard for this?
I care.
Oh.
It'd be better. No, we ain't gotta wait. Why? What do you want to use?
Well, because I wanted to do the J.
I just pulled that out.
So we could taste it more. We could do that one on the second one if you don't mind.
That's cool.
Because it's gelato.
Well, we've seen this throughout history. And if we're doing a repeat of what happened in World War I, it takes time for them 100 years ago to mobilize their troops. It took them damn near months to mobilize everything. They'll declare war, but they wouldn't be ready for war for at least another couple weeks.
Yeah. I feel
We may be in the modern age, but you still got to gather up all those fucking people.
Already. Did y'all want to talk about anything in particular? Because I was like, because I follow a lot of conspiracy theory pages on Instagram, Facebook, and all that bullshit. But there was this one thing, this one post that was talking about like laws that we should know, and it started like I only researched a little bit of it. One of it was that the king, apparently the king of England, funded in a certain way. He funded both sides of the revolution, and they say this because in the Treaty of Versailles. I read some of it, but it said that there was money paid to Congress from the king in 1778, 79, 80, 81, and 82. And this is during the Revolutionary War. And apparently Gravier de Virginis, I don't know who that is, but also Benjamin Franklin signed that supposedly. You know anything about that? Or?
So that
They said the Treaty of Versailles?
That it was a, you want to Google it or anything? Or?
Well, I know the Treaty of Versailles was the treaty that they signed during World War One. That's what threw me off, but I mean,
what did the Treaty of Versailles state?
Maybe there's different treaties of Versailles.
the Treaty of Versailles in World War One basically.
Was it in or after World War?
The Treaty of Versailles.
Mm-hmm.
This was this is what ended it all. This is basically what I mean. At first, when they ended the war, they had to put a stop, an armistice, on everybody. Say, hey, we're done fighting because the communication issue. I mean, communication was a big issue during that time. You really couldn't get word to troops.
Take like weeks and shit.
So what did the Treaty of Versailles state?
The Treaty of Versailles basically stated that Germany had to pay reparations, and that Germany and Austria had to take full responsibility of the war. The Ottomans as well, because they joined in late. The Ottomans basically got the worst hand of it all. So there are more than one, huh? Oh, let's read this.
I mean, I don't know. I'm just saying that so there are more than one.
Yeah, it probably is.
I mean, because Benjamin Franklin was chilling in France for a while during the Revolutionary War.
Well, let's read what the definition is. Let's read what the Google says.
Good Google him. Hey, I wanted to because I listen to our podcast, bro, and I love them. I like our different voices. I like all this shit. But last time I think it sounded like I said I wasn't really interested in your MMA shit, but I am. But it came out, I think, because I mumble sometimes. I don't know. I just want to make that clear to anybody who thought I was like being an asshole or something. I was like, I am interested. You know what I mean?
I feel you. What does it say there, Vino?
Pretty much what you said.
Same thing. Somebody has to pay reparations.
So the king possibly funded both sides. Why do you think that would be? I mean, I could think of a couple reasons. Maybe just because order can come from chaos, or so I've read in comic books and certain things. And
well, some people would say that both wars, that wasn't the only war that was funded by one individual on both sides. Some people would say that every world war, every time some nation had to fall or give a lot of land to somebody else, like usually somebody was involved that was involved on both sides. You know what I'm saying?
Like the Rothschild or some shit.
Yeah, it could be. You know how people say people have a lot of names for the people of the organization. They call them the Illuminati. They call it the Black Hand. Call it whatever you want. But yeah, some people would say that that these people fund both sides of every battle, every war, everything, just so that at the end they make sure they're still the ones holding all the chess pieces, holding all the pawns in place.
Like Dick Cheney making all his money off that war.
Yeah, Al Gore is the same way. A lot of people with the climate thing have really been
make a lot of money off of that shit.
Really been taken in by it, and if you follow the money, you will notice that a lot of the things that has to do with climate change actually seem to really benefit monetarily Al Gore.
Well, yeah, he making all those speeches and shit. Somebody's paying him.
Yeah.
And
all them views on YouTube and shit like that.
And for a lot of people, climate change is a big topic, but
I really think that the Earth has to go through changes, and whether or not we are adding to that effect of it, I mean, I think changes are gonna happen no matter what.
I mean, if you compare the Earth to human being and how we go through stages, we start out as babies, to go to toddlers, go to being young kids, and then we hit that crazy stage of puberty, where shit starts happening. You know what I'm saying? Like,
pimples exploding, other volcanoes and shit.
Exactly. You know what I'm saying? What if that's what's happening right now? What if the Earth's getting moody because it's going through a change? You know what I'm saying?
Menopause.
You never know. You're going through an evolution. You know what I mean? Things are gonna happen.
But a lot of people are waking up, and that's a good thing. Like, in a lot of ways.
I think that's what happens when the Earth does this. Another way you could look at that is like how animals are, how they develop in their own lives. They have their own little cycles. Like a caterpillar, it starts off like a little worm, and isolates itself in a little cocoon, and after it comes out of the cocoon, it becomes a butterfly.
Beautiful ass butterfly.
In the same way, you could look at the world now. I mean, there could have been a civilization that existed before the Ice Age.
Yeah, there's theories about that. Yeah, I've heard some people discuss that, certain scientists.
And when the Ice Age happened, well, after it got resolved, then our civilization started. Our human start.
So
imagine
if in that time there had been some kind of media, some kind of like way to communicate. The world would have been saying, it's a freezing, it's going to eat, it's the end of the world, we're all screwed. But what happened, like I said, the Ice Age, a whole new world came to be. You know what I'm saying?
And
so it's like, just hold on there, it's the cake's being baked right now. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Don't just assume because you see it boiling in the oven that, oh my God, it's not baking right.
And
you gotta give it time.
Wasn't it Graham Hancock's book that we read last year that he talked about? Before. Yeah, he's a very good anthropologist and archaeologist, isn't he?
Those are titles.
I mean, I know he's too.
I know he studies words, Rumble. Nah, just kidding.
Well, I know he studies on rocks and the earth, and I know he studies ancient history as well.
That's what's up.
I just didn't know which degree he had in, but in his book, he did talk about that they had found tools that they used back in the Ice Age, like when it was during the Ice Age, how they were able to cross over to get to America. These ancient cultures that came from Asia or Australia or wherever they came from, over here, and how they crossed the land bridge and whatnot. But it was the tools that he talks about that they had, and it shows advanced. It's how they got the bone marrow out of bones and the way that they did it, and the tools that they found around something, and it was. At the time, for these people to be able to know how to do this and then know how to get it, and then to use tools to be able to have it, it was very advanced for them to have. It wasn't very thought of that cavemen at this time could have this knowledge to do.
Yeah.
You figure dudes up in there where it's that cold, and you ain't got no ways to make shit. Where do you get how do you keep a fire going? How do you get it hot enough to
nothing's growing?
Yeah. How do you get it hot enough to even like work with ivory tusks? You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, exactly. But they were doing it.
They had to eat like a lot of fat to survive and shit.
But they were doing it, and they were doing it just as good, if not better, than the Europeans on the mainland. You know what I'm saying?
And to me, that it shows me that there was prior knowledge before the Ice Age that these people knew before the Ice Age happened. And of course, the Ice Age lasted for centuries, but in order for you to survive it, you have to at least have some type of prior knowledge how to survive a brutal cold.
For sure.
It's funny to tell about how the Ice Age. This could be almost like the information age. A lot of people get sucked in by it.
Right, and I was gonna say, because I was telling we were almost saying like it was the Enlightenment, but the Enlightenment already happened. Because I feel like a lot of people are waking up using the internet in positive ways, and
could have been 2012, the end of the world as we knew it. It could have been the end of their world as we knew it, the old world. This is my little theory on it.
In a way, a lot of things have changed, but in a way, a lot of things have stayed the same. But who knows? Did y'all hear about? Did y'all see the pictures they released from Epstein, and then they said that.
Yeah. I mean, yeah. It was deleted on accident.
And the video was accidentally deleted.
Sorry, guys. We just haven't have every piece of video available to you from that day, from that week, except this piece. Somebody went in there and just fucked up that little portion, bros. We're sorry. Yeah.
So why you think they're doing this? You think because a lot of people realize it's a conspiracy. It's no longer a theory. Most of the times they're always just theories. This time it's like the mainstream media is like, what the fuck?
You ever think of it like this? We started talking about how there's so many conspiracies. what if the conspirators put this conspiracy out there for the conspirators to take as bait and not pay attention to other shit?
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? Because it's so obvious. It's so obvious. Yeah, it's so obvious. You know what I'm saying?
Usually you gotta kind of dig in and be like, okay, I don't know, and other shit comes out.
It's almost
from the beginning.
Yeah. It's almost like they threw you this little bone, but it's like it's just bait. You know, you're like, oh, it's Epstein. But what does this prove? This proves nothing.
And so. Yeah, and nothing at all, bro. As far as we know, he could be alive in South America or some shit.
Yeah, I mean, there's other conspiracies that still legit. That if we solve them, the we can figure shit out. Solving the Epstein, quote unquote conspiracy does nothing. The guy was a rich piece of shit. Join the list, guy. You know what I'm saying? And that was that. You played the game and you got killed. All right, that was it. There's really, in my opinion, there's nothing there.
Right. There's more pressing matters right now than just some fucking child molesting.
Look, if they're gonna put him out there the way they have, the guy must clearly have been a small fish to them. You know what I'm saying?
For sure.
They just gave him up for nothing. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. You know, I remember. I think it was Chris Rock was saying that like whenever something was big going on in the world, and the government wanted distraction, they would like call Michael Jackson, and be like, "Hey, we need you to. We're gonna charge you with molesting a kid again. All right? You just have to deal with that shit for a while until they do whatever they're trying to do and." The distraction's over.
I mean, well, think about this. You know, like that's how it works. You know, think about all these old celebrities from the '80s and '90s that just constantly somehow get called up like their opinion really matters. Actors and shit.
Mm-hmm.
Like all of a sudden, because someone that was cool in the '80s or the '90s, like Jeff Goldblum. Just because this guy was popular, all of a sudden when he makes an opinion, it's important. I mean, dude, he's an average dude, you know, just like you. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly. How you feel about Jim Carrey? Everybody's trying to make him like a fucking prophet now.
I know it's pretty crazy. I don't know.
Kind of weird.
It was weird. So let's check this out. If I summarize what I've seen with Jim Carrey the past couple of years, it's been first he started off quote unquote woke when he played this role when he started the Terrence McKenna biopic, which by the way hasn't come out yet. So I don't know what happened there. But apparently, you know, from there he started to become Mr. Enlightened and started having these enlightened quotes. But at the same time, a lot of people were saying that he was now the head of the Illuminati, apparently in Hollywood. It was weird. Right. It was weird. And now he's doing this thing. Like I said, now he's Mr. Enlightened again. You know what I'm saying? Now it's like...
And the movie still had to come out, the biopic.
Like we just talked about how sometimes the conspirators will throw you this little piece of bait to take and just, feed on that while we do some other shit over here. Well... This to me sounds like another piece of bait.
Scrap.
It's just another actor. Like I said, who is it? It's like I told you, these are just regular dudes, just like you and me, bro. You know, like the people who we should be listening to and analyzing and really is seeing what's up with politicians. You know, because too many people let the politicians say these lies and just let it keep going. You know what I'm saying?
Politicians and the heads of like these drug companies. For sure, the drug companies.
Bro. Well, see, a lot of times those intertwine. That's the problem.
They're in bed.
You know what I'm saying?
They're totally in bed. That's why. I don't think that's why we can have like a real legitimate like for the people president, because in order to win you gotta have all this money for your campaign, and the people who donate money for the campaign
you would have to be transparent and like completely transparent. Like I'm gonna show you every day what donation I get, who it came from, their name, what they did, where they're from. I'm gonna show you what I did with them. I'm gonna show you the receipts. I'm gonna show you all this shit. I'm gonna show you everyone who works in my campaign. Here's where their prior work records are. I'm gonna be completely open with what I'm doing. You know what I'm saying? Wow. I legit toss it to people, and you let the people decide if that dude was real or not. You know what I mean? And I think how many people we got in the United States? You know what I'm saying? How many?
I have no idea.
It's like about 300 million people.
Okay, so if I get if one guy can or one woman who has legit good intentions for, like you said, for this planet, for this country at least, right? Start with that. You know, I don't think 300 million people will mind sending $1 there. I might send even more. You know what I'm saying?
Nah, but everybody won't. There won't be a consensus. They won't be all of them.
Of course,
there's gonna be some who are just gonna be against the grain no matter what. They're just like, nah, fuck that shit. Like they're trying to be socialist
but at the same time, after, I really think that a person who's on it, if they stand on truth, my opinion, and what I say never changes. That's the same thing I was saying a year ago. I'm saying now. I think eventually everybody will say, well, the person that's for my party doesn't do that. The person for my party changes opinions like every other week. You know what I'm saying? Whereas I think eventually that honesty will win people over. You know what I'm saying? People will see that this individual over here might actually have like be really for us, for the people. You know what I'm saying? Instead of for a corporation or for themselves, for blah blah blah. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Yeah, that'd be dope as fuck.
Because, the political game is an area full of snakes. You know what I'm saying? From the Ben Franklin lectures, I'm learning, man, that everything was going great, business and everything, but once he had to step foot in the political game, these snakes started coming after him. You know what I'm saying? Because that's what it is. But see, if you get 100 Ben Franklins up there, 100 American citizens who legit, educated and go up and they understand how the system works, and they go into Congress, they all get jobs. You can't, you can't ignore that. Yeah, one person can get shut down. One person can get shut up. You know what I'm saying? But can you really ignore 100? You know what I'm saying? If a whole graduating class of a school, that's gonna go work in Congress or go work for the Senate or whatever the hell, if they've all got good intentions, can you really stop that? I really think you have a hard time.
Yeah, it'd be difficult.
Because in this day and age, everything's viral. You know what I'm saying? So imagine if you got that and the world saw that, the whole world would start paying attention. Like, there's some good right there. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Just like how when people listen to the leader we have right now, all the stuff, all the misogynist and racist and just straight up mean stuff he said, the whole world recognizes that guy's not a very nice guy. You know what I'm saying?
You think they'd get taken out real easy, real quick?
Well, that's what I'm saying. If there's 100 of them, how can you really gonna do this and think you're gonna take out 100 and not get exposed eventually?
Well, like you saw how they did Malcolm. They just sent one person in there to infiltrate.
But that's one dude. That's what I'm saying. Yeah. What if you had 100 Malcolm X's? That's what I'm saying.
I feel.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
What if I didn't just have Malcolm X from this state? I had Malcolm X in every state. What if I had 2 Malcolm X's in every state? You know what I'm saying? How you might be able to shut some of them up, take some of them out, corrupt some, but the rest of them are just going to become stronger from that. You know what I'm saying? Because what you're doing is you're showing your hand. Mm-hmm. That's what I'm saying. They fight in numbers. You know what I'm saying? Like, think online how some people get taken down by comment sections. You know what I'm saying? Because they can't take the ridicule. Their personalities can't take the all that stuff. You know what I'm saying?
And they can't ignore it. And shit.
Yeah, but if 100 of us stand together, you know what I'm saying? Ain't nothing gonna hold us down. You know what I mean? But that's the thing. Everybody just, everybody seems to. And like you said, in this new age, what we need to do is stop focusing on that I'm gonna change shit. It's like, yeah, you're gonna change shit, but you ain't gonna do it alone, fam. You know what I'm saying? Because you ain't the only motherfucker that wants things to be better. You ain't the only motherfucker that looks around and recognizes that shit ain't right. It's a lot of people, but the problem is, you gotta start thinking about how we gonna do it, not just how you gonna do it. You know what I'm saying? This ain't the Matrix, nigga. You know what I'm saying? You ain't Neo. You know what I'm saying? We got to work together, bro. You know what I mean? How do you think they work? How do you think the conspirators work? They work together. They work together to lie and plot and cover shit up and like I said, throw out bait to us so that we ignore what they're really doing behind the scenes, But if everybody is aware that this is that this is a chess game, that this a chessboard that we're on, you start to learn the rules. And you start to see how they work. You know what I'm saying? And once you know how your enemy works, you have no enemy, bro. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Have you read The Art of War?
Nah.
This is The Art of Vino.
Art of Vino, yeah.
I'm not. As far as Asian literature, I prefer the Tao Te Ching. The Art of War. I get it. It's mostly for business, though. A lot of people it's really just for a kind of a me thing, right? Yeah. The Art of War. That's why the secret, right? I don't really support that because that's all about how can I become best. What
selfish.
Yeah, I myself don't. I'd rather it's a we thing. You know what I'm saying? It's a we thing.
It always seems like to work out better when you have the we in mind.
Yeah.
As opposed to the me. Like the universe likes that better.
Yeah. That's why
more in harmony.
That's why I respect The Art of War, the book, you know what I'm saying? I understand that a lot of people have been inspired by it.
It was written like a thousand years ago.
So was Tao Te Ching. The Tao Te Ching was written by a great Asian philosopher, just like Lao Tzu.
And what's that one about?
Confucius. The Tao Te Ching basically means the book of the way. You know what I'm saying? The way, how to be, how to not. Have you read? Remember the Warrior of the Light by Paulo Coelho? Did I pass that book on to you? Mm-hmm. It's like that, but written way before. You know what I'm saying? It teaches you how it gives you little anecdotes on how to be at peace with yourself, how to calm down that monkey brain that we have. You know what I'm saying? That constantly wants to instead of treasuring what you have right now, is focused on the dumb shit you did in the past or worrying about dumb shit you're gonna do in the future. You know what I'm saying?
It's like the part of the brain, bro. I feel like that's part of the brain. Like, so it's hard to explain. Like whenever, because I think my dad used to have anger issues, and I think he's gotten past those, or he's better at controlling it or whatever. Maybe he's happier now. I don't know what it is. But me too, in a way. But I noticed that like in those times where I get mad, there's a point where I can almost feel like not endorphins, but something that's like releasing in my brain, and it's almost like a numbness. And then like sometimes like when I would be in those situations, and I haven't had this feeling in a long time. It's been a while. Um, but then sometimes when you feel like you just want to break something, like the satisfaction of breaking some shit, like that's got to be some kind of savage part of it in us.
Well, yeah, cause let me ask you this: do you think anything good comes of destroying anything?
No, not really. And that's what me and my sister were discussing. She said, because I used to do that, but then I realized, I'm gonna have to clean that shit up.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Destruction only makes you do twice the work.
And then if I do it outside, then I have to worry about, since I go out there barefoot and the animals out there.
And then you gotta deal with the guilt of the fact that, man, I probably shouldn't have done that. Why are you cleaning this up? You know what I'm saying? Instant karma if you clean it up.
For sure.
Right? Yeah, you gotta think of it like this. What does hate do? Hate destroys. Do you want to be hate? That's all you gotta ask yourself. I know what hate does. I know what negativity does. Do I want to participate in that?
Well,
no.
but it's like for people who have like I think for some people it's easier to control it than others. Like they just have to, like some people have to put more effort into controlling it, and there's nothing wrong with that. They just need to do that. That's beautiful.
I feel like some people legit believe that they don't deserve peace or happiness for some reason.
And that's a shame.
I feel like some people think that for what maybe
they're not worthy of it.
Maybe one bad thing they've done in their life, or maybe one bad thing that happened to them, they believe that they don't deserve happiness, right? And that's a sad thing, because basically what that puts you on is a self-destructive path.
Oh yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
A lot of times people will hop in relationship after relationship, and then they just like with other destructive people, and it just causes chaos.
Yeah. You know what I'm saying? And yeah, that's the thing. That's the first thing people need to. I hope that they recognize is that, dude, you're worthy of all the love in the world. No matter what you've done, don't matter what's been done to you, fam. You know what I'm saying? You're a human being who deserves peace and happiness just like every human being does. You know what I'm saying? I think as a human being, we all crave that. We all crave happiness, and we crave peace, and we crave friendship. You know what I'm saying? And hating yourself is not going to make you crave these things. Hating yourself is going to make you just, like you said, crave destruction. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, can I look at it? Yeah, I feel you, bro. It's like Yoda said, man. Like, hate leads to suffering, or suffering leads to some order, but it ends up leading to destruction, bro. Your own destruction.
Anger leads to hate, hate leads to fear, and fear leads to suffering. Exactly. That's the quote you're looking for.
Yeah, man. That's like, all right. You know how people.
And that's basically an anxiety or panic attack. Right.
You know how people they always say like thank you, baby Jesus.
Yeah.
And I'm like, baby Jesus didn't have no powers. I guess Baby Yoda does have powers, but I feel like OG Yoda is like got some real shit. You know what I mean?
OG Yoda, OG Yoda's been through some shit, man. That's like an elder. He's like in the Star Wars series, like 900 years old or something like that.
By the time he dies.
Yeah. So, Baby Yoda, I think I had a friend of mine tell me he was 50.
Yeah, he's 50, supposedly. Romo the Roller, the master. Smoke trees till my smoke look like Casper.
He'll compliment you now, but when he's using that chest, he's gonna let's get it in now, Chris.
Are you gonna play chess today?
That's why I brought it, so you can play.
Already.
I'm just a spectator today.
I told Romo we're gathering today to find out who's third and second best.
And for the audience, I'm not that good at chess. Okay, I'm average at best, but I'm better than these two dumbasses.
I beat you last time though, so how the fuck are you better than us?
Yeah, but you know what? That game dragged on though.
Man,
that's what chess is supposed to do. It's supposed to drag on.
Man, I was tired. I was sleeping.
Excuses. It's all good, guys. It's good to be confident. Just don't be a cocky asshole like this motherfucker. Nah.
I will admit I was cocky in the bitch last time. I can't lie. Either way.
It's hilarious.
But
how's it taste, bro? The gelato.
I don't want to pass that motherfucker at all.
Gelato.
She like Young Dolph.
Nah.
Is that a song?
One of his lines was, "Weed so good, I don't want to pass."
Oh. Man, one of my homegirls, bro, at work was telling me about some chick that supposedly almost died because of these. But I think the cartridges, sometimes are bootleg.
Yeah, and
you gotta check the
put some
quality.
bullshit.
Sometimes they're brutal and they put more chemicals than
necessary
than cannabis, whatever in there. You know what I'm saying?
It was like when dab originally came out. You remember when the dabs
people were making their own like
people were
toxic
making
kind of
those
shit.
dark ass dabs that would fucking kill you. I mean, you'd have like a lung infection for a week.
I will always remember my first like experience with it, man. That shit was intense. But I knew after that, I knew what bad quality was, and I never tried bad quality. I knew exactly what it looked like.
I never. You see him already trying to grab again, like he's like.
Oh.
I didn't really like dabs too much. I wasn't that much of a fan. Like I tried it, and it did its job and shit. But
it was too intense for me.
There's too much work that you got to do to it. You got to blaze it and turn on fire and use fucking.
To me, it wasn't that. To me, it was the intensity of it. Like I liked it, but to be high all fucking day, and then the process of it just was fucking horrible. Like I remember taking one rip, I just coughed my lungs out. I had never coughed so much in my life. I had never ever wanted to throw up after smoking some weed.
Really? Not
Never,
even the
bro.
first time?
Never, bro. And I mean, I coughed my lungs out the first time I did it. When I first hit it. I remember that night too. Nah, it didn't make me want to throw up. I was just clogging up a lung. I thought I was gonna die.
It's a difference, right? It's a difference. Yeah,
but it was just the cough. It was not the high. It was just the coughing that got me. Because I mean, I was a dumbass. I hit it from a bong. And I took a big ass rip too. So
yeah, he's a little tiny zoop.
Yeah, it wasn't no little quick hit. No, it was like my homies were assholes, man. They let it go for a little minute, then they pulled the damn piece. And yeah, I was gone that whole night. I went through 3 Chevelle albums that night.
What's Chevelle?
Chevelle is this alternative rock band that I listened to since I was young.
So
and I went through 3 of their fucking albums.
Straight back to back,
bro. From
Did you
from
cry?
the first album to the third one. It wasn't until the third one I started crying, bro. It was a new one that they came out.
Is it good
at that time?
Is it really good music?
To me, it was.
Like if you listen to it now, like not dabbed out. But you say you've been listening to them for a long time. What was her name? What was the name of them?
Chevelle.
You ever listen to Chevelle?
Yeah, Send the Pain Below.
Damn, I think I'm missing out.
Bro, I used to jam out to that song when I was going through my depressive phase.
Word?
Real shit.
So it's like alternative rock, you said?
Yeah. I can't think of another band at the moment, but yeah, it's like
Evanescence?
It's like that early 2000s. Yeah, it's like the early 2000s rock. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
This early 2000s, was it more like? I guess so. Yeah. This is
rock.
mid that decade. I mean, I can name a few of them. You got what Lumineers. That's what
the Lumineers is something. Isn't that like more
like pop rock? Was it?
Cause I like some of their shit, bro. Like Ophelia.
Oh yeah, it is
like,
pop.
Damn.
Oh, you had Audio Slave and who else was it? You had The Offspring.
I remember Linkin Park, but I was more.
What would you
hip-hop.
consider the Killers? I remember them too.
Well, I like a couple of their songs. I didn't really start getting into that kind of rock music until recently. I was straight up like hip hop, rap.
This is back when I was in high school type shit. So it's like this is the shit that came on the radio. This is like the mainstream. Man, that wasn't that cool to go underground yet.
Yeah. What's wrong with you, bro? Not actually.
I was a lame back in the day.
Underground was fire. Underground Kings, UGK, shit. But I think this is controversial. I think Outkast might be a little better than UGK.
I don't know who these people are.
What do you think, Vino?
It's a matter of opinion, man.
I guess that's true. What's your opinion?
I like UGK, bro. I can ride that shit.
Yeah, that's what's up. I mean, I love both. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, yeah. Obviously, Andre is an amazing. You know.
I feel like Big Boy's underrated sometimes, man.
Oh yeah, Big Boy can spit, bro. Yeah. And that's the thing. It's just that's how good Andre is, bro.
Yeah, he's like a fucking god, kind of.
That's what some people say, you know.
If Eminem's a rap god, then Andre's a rap god. But that's a category.
Yeah.
Who's your favorite rapper, Romo? Do you have a favorite rapper?
If I had to choose one right now,
it'd
be Currency.
Currency. He was on Cash Money, right? Or Young Money?
That's when it started. He started out as one of Lil Wayne's like sidemen, him and Mac Main. It didn't work out. Like he even talks about like, yeah, you know what? It's part of the game. But he fell from that. But look, he came up.
Well,
he's the dude from the underground right now.
So now he's like on his own label and shit.
Oh, he's not. Yeah, he's
doing the smart way.
Yeah, he's been doing his Jet Life thing, underground mixtape thing since like, man, 06, 07, fam. Like, yeah, he's been out for a minute. He's the king right now, bro. I mean, he's probably the real talk. You know, if you, I remember he went on a roll a couple years ago where he dropped a mixtape. It was the Andretti series, bro. He dropped a mixtape every month for like 5 or 6 months straight. You know what I'm saying?
My favorite one was 11:30. That one was fucking good.
Yeah, he would put them out on the 30th of the month.
Oh shit.
Yeah, that's why they call him that.
11:30 was November.
Yeah.
November 30, bro. That hoe went hard. I love that one.
And in between that, he put out a full album too. Like, yeah, like that's what he does. Like he'll put out those mixtapes. You know, that's all free love for his fans. You can download that off the mixtape sites. But it'll also in between that throw out the big releases. You know what I'm saying?
Wait, his mixtape like his beats or other beats?
It's a combination because he'll let you, like there's some like his older stuff that'll have older beats, but you know he won't say it. But now that he's got a lot of clout, you know what I'm saying? He gets juice in the beats all the time. So he just raps. But the ones that he does do off other beats, it's a series called Weed and Instrumentals. He's got 3 of them. And it's pretty fire, bro.
Like no ceilings.
Yeah. You can pretty much tell him and his boys got in the studio and just threw on these beats, and we're like, fuck it, we're gonna just flow with these. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That shit's fun, bro. Rapping and shit. I used to being in the studio and shit.
And a lot of these young rappers now, bro, they're all fucking dying. It's like, damn.
What was the Xanax bars and the
Percocet and popping
fentanyl, I think, is a big thing for some reason.
They do a lot of
shit. They do a lot of shit, bro. It's like, damn, man, just smoke some weed and chill. Fuck, bro.
It's like the generation, like that's a little younger.
Like
the hardest thing, like some people would do was like maybe coke. It was like yayo and weed, and that's it.
And you know it's sad, bro. When you listen to these fools rap and you listen to some of these fucking songs, it's like, man, they're all crying for help. Like you listen to them, bro, and they're predicting their own death. Like you can tell they have issues and they need somebody to talk to, not be doing these performances.
Well, you gotta think about it. Why do any musicians and actors really do all those hardcore drugs? Because they can't take performing in front of a lot of people. The anxiety of stage fright that they get. They don't know how to be around people and have the light on them. You know what I'm saying? So what do? They get on these drugs that sort of help, numb them. You know what I'm saying? Or make you forget that you are the spotlight. You know what I mean?
Reality for a little bit.
These fools weren't ready for the spotlight in the first place. And these labels take advantage of that by saying, all right, well, take all these drugs, we'll give you for free. You know what I'm saying? And why are you taking all these drugs and getting basically just being fucked up all the time? You're getting robbed. You know what I'm saying?
Pimp.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
Ooh, I love the gelato. Fuck Moscato. El Dorado. Some call me Mojado. Bro, you heard about the shootings in Torreon at the school? Some kid killed his teacher and then himself.
Damn.
In Torreon, Coahuila. I used to go there like almost every year.
Coahuila?
To Torreon.
Yeah.
My dad was born in Gomez Palacio, Durango. It's like right there on the border. So you got my grandma in the apartment.
That's where my parents are from. Coahuila, the state.
Bro, I was listening to this dude named Ed Calderon. And I guess it's pretty fucking... I was thinking like a lot of these American medias were being dramatic about how bad Mexico is. But apparently it's fucked up. It's really bad.
Yeah, man. It is.
Like the cartel, they run that shit. Like it's fucking crazy, bro.
There's a lot of things wrong down there, man. Yeah, man. It's bad.
It's sad, bro. It's weird how, like, in Canada, like, the farther north you get, it's, like, free healthcare. Weed, for, like, in the whole country. They come North America, it's not as good. Still fucking badass. Weed in some states, right to speech, right to arms. And then you go to Mexico. Guns are illegal, but the criminals got them. It's all fucked up, but it's not as bad as like South America or Central America. It starts getting worse. You know what I mean? So it's like the farther south you go, the worse it gets. And it's kind of weird. Just like in cities.
Yeah, it's almost...
South side is always the...
Yeah, it's almost like in other South American countries that the U.S. got involved in. And those are the shittiest ones.
Yeah, the shithole countries. According to Trump.
Why do you think that is, bro? It's because, all their natural resources were sold out, by corrupt officials, you know what I'm saying? Or were jacked, ganked by countries with the power to go and invade.
Yeah.
And take that shit by force. And I wouldn't be surprised if, in Mexico, they try to do that, but it ends up, because of cartels, it ends up kind of becoming a thing where they have to, find a way to basically pay off the cartels. You know what I'm saying? But they gonna pay them off. They've been printing their own money for a while.
They're good, bro.
Yeah, they're good on money.
They're on some other shit, bro. They got technology now. They're on some their own government shit. They build roads and shit. They got their own phone system.
It's like Mexico has become a terrorist state.
And that's what that dude was talking about. That at some point the American government might declare the cartel as terrorists, and at that point we can.
I'm surprised they haven't done it already.
We can go there. I mean, it's possible very soon. I don't know if that's a good thing or bad thing. I don't know.
I mean, that's gonna set off some shit.
Yeah,
it's
a big chain of events. Yes, sir. It'll be the new Mexican-American war. But I mean, the Mexican government will be on our side, I'm sure.
Yeah, this is the thing. Cause think about it, because of how violent and just messy the cartels have turned Mexico. There's not hardly one citizen you can find that hasn't been affected negatively by the cartel. So there's plenty of citizens that if they saw some dudes walking in there with American flags on and they're like, hey, point us to those cartel guys, they're gonna point. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, and even the people who have benefited, they benefit but with fear. Yeah. Just like the mafia.
Because they don't.
Because they respect them because supposedly they help build schools sometimes, like Escobar used to do. But then at the same time, they know, okay, if you don't do a job for them, if you don't do it, they know what the fuck they do.
Yeah. You're damned if you do, you're damned if you don't.
Exactly.
You're only alive because you're useful.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And yeah, that's how, like I say, that'll do good. If you do it, you're participating in these evil acts. But if you don't do it, they're gonna kill you. You know what I'm saying? And your family. So yeah, it's not just you. So a lot of people do have to play that corrupt game just because they got not you by the balls, but they got you. They got a gun to every family member of yours.
Yeah, I remember when there was when Obama was still president, they had the Fast and Furious thing where the American government sold guns to the cartel, and it was supposedly to track the guns, but they ended up sending it to all one gang and shit. You mind passing me that? I think it went. So I don't know about that. That shit's crazy.
It could be true. Who knows? They could have done some shit like that, but.
Whether maybe to cause more chaos, or maybe for our benefit, or maybe for who knows? Maybe they just want to make a big check real quick.
Oh man, they be going deep into the conspiracy.
Hell yeah. Let's see, on the positive side, there was no tornadoes. Here, I guess. Hopefully there was no casualties.
This one.
We're out of retrograde for a little bit, supposedly. I'm about to start school. Hopefully, if my late registration shit goes through.
I see.
Yeah, so I'm kind of anxious about that, but we'll see what happens. Did you bring your notes today, Romo?
No, but it did come with a theory I came up with on early history.
Let's hear it. Hey, you want to make sure it's recording?
Oh, it's recording.
Okay. I'm just super high, paranoid.
Yeah, we've been talking for 43 minutes.
Already.
Now, my theory on it was... This is just all... I almost going ancient aliens on this, but it's I think this great flood was an invasion of aliens. And
you talking about the Noah's flood? Oh, no.
Any flood. If you're looking back in history a lot, you see any flood throughout history. There's one that happened in every single culture. They all talk about one.
Right.
Or what if there were multiple ones?
Right.
What if there were multiple asteroids that hit and people came? Or what if there were spaceships that hit? It caused a massive flood. But afterwards, you had a certain group of people that came as quote-unquote barbarians came in, and that's where we started getting a lot of maybe the Vikings, maybe a lot of barbarian, but this is where we started getting first reports of contacts with a few of other beings, because from what I've been seeing is a correlation in history where a great flood happens, and then there's a war that happens, and then barbarians show up. Wars happen, barbarians are raiding and pillaging and destroying and whatnot. I bet you that there is a correlation between the two. The asteroid hit, or a group of people came, then they started invading everywhere. It happened in North America with certain groups that came in. Damn. That had different ideology, because if you look at the natives at that time, they were all peaceful. They all warred different. They didn't war to just kill you. They warred to hurt you, but it was all basically like a capture the flag, in a way. It wasn't really to try to kill everybody, but it was just to prove that, we won, in a way. Not a lot of people died in those battles, is what I'm trying to say. But in a certain part came time in history where they started kind of changing how war was done down there. So where they were starting to kill each other and starting to enslave each other. You can go look in the north where, maybe wars weren't recorded until around Ramses in the first Egyptian war, where it was one of the first battles that was recorded. And that's when you started having people kill, maim each other. And I could guarantee if we look deeper into archaeology, we would find that war was maybe a little bit different back before that first battle that we ever recorded, which was, can't pinpoint it exactly, unless you can Google it for me.
Wait, what am I Googling?
This is the earliest battle ever recorded in history.
Yeah, let's see. Earliest battle ever. Alright, it says the first recorded battle was Battle of Megiddo, circa 1457 BC, between Egyptian forces under Pharaoh Thutmose III and a Canaanite rebel alliance under the king of Kadesh.
There you go.
Man, that sounds interesting as fuck.
And we still had another 9,000 years of history that we still don't even know about.
Right, unrecorded. And then there was the white say 9,000.
I'm just guessing, man. There's probably more history than what is that, because it's only 3,000 for what they can date back. But I'm pretty sure there's more than that.
Right. Because a lot has probably been lost. But there's been a lot lost.
Or some civilizations just didn't record history.
Yeah.
The Celts apparently didn't write their history. Apparently, the only reason we know about these Celts is through Roman and Greek.
Where were the Celts originated from? What part of the world? What region?
Do you think it's Central Europe, or you think it was more northern where the...
I guess I could Google that too. Where do the come from? On the last podcast, sometimes when I would feel like we say something kind of profound, the flute would hit right on point, and it sounded just like synchronized, bro. Like it was perfect. It's hilarious. And then I was tripping out too whenever y'all had the little conversation when I was out of the room. You're like, nah, switch this up. It was hilarious, bro. I thought it was funny as fuck. It was dope though. It's believed that the Celtic, is it Celtic or Celtic?
Celts.
Culture started to evolve as early as 1200 BC. The Celts spread throughout Western Europe, including Britain, Ireland, France, and Spain via migration. So Western Europe. Their legacy remains most prominent in Ireland and Great Britain, where traces of their language and culture are still prominent today.
So it said that, check this out, this guy who was originally in Egypt, he came from Egypt, this guy named Mil, M-I-L. He received a message from God to go west, you know what I'm saying? So he's in Egypt, so he goes west, and he ends up in Spain, Iberia at the time, whatever you want to call it, right? And he founds a little kingdom there, you know what I mean? But he still wanted to keep going west. West, he knew was an island out there. And he said that this is where we'll prosper. This is what he was told, right? By whatever divine message he got to go west. But he died there in what is now Spain, right? But his sons, he had 8 sons. They traveled. His son and his wife, they traveled to Ireland. That's what that land was. That's as far west from here as you can go. You get on the water, you go any further west, you're hitting this
North
territory.
America.
Yeah,
already.
you're hitting territory over here.
Yeah.
So, anyways, his sons got there and they fought battles, and which they won. Some of them died, but the ones that lived, they ended up founding what is now Ireland. So the people, yeah. So you can say that some of the Celts from Ireland originated from this dude from Egypt.
So who do you think was there originally in Ireland?
It said a lot of different people from
tribes.
Because we're taking a Celtic course too, and it said that bro, the Celtic origin story that they have is pretty wild. It reads like some Lord of the Rings type stuff, bro. They talk,
like their shit that they believe.
They talk about that wizards were there, that fairy people, that giants who had one eye and only one arm and one leg were there. Like, yeah, bro.
It was fucking crazy.
I think they were like on
It's entertaining as hell, man.
they're on drugs and they're coming up with that, like psychedelics. There's certain plants that can make you trip balls and shit.
Well, look, bro, we don't know what the ancient world was like. I like stealth minded. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like how they say some say the burning bush was a certain kind of salvia or something.
Well, look, let me tell you this. And when it was said that God was gonna talk to Moses at the top of this mountain, remember it said in the Bible, don't let anyone else come because they will die. They will die in contact with this. Almost sounds like something that gives off radiation. You know what I'm saying? Like an alien spaceship or something. You know what I mean? You know, and think about it. In the Bible, it said that this thing that the Hebrews walked with from their escape from Egypt, in the daytime, was it a pillar of fire or something like that?
You talking about
the Grail. Something that followed them, right? Something that followed them. And at night, it was like a pillar of fire. Almost sounds like a light from a spaceship that constantly followed them, right? You know what I'm saying? Like, how they know where to go? They know GPS.
Wait, but that's... Who is that again? That's
Moses.
When they lost for 40 days and 40 nights?
40 years, son. Jesus was lost 40. Jesus went on his enlightenment in 40 days, 40 nights in the desert. When he met the devil and all this.
What's up with 40? What's up with the number 40?
I don't know. Why don't you read the Bible?
Yeah.
Yeah. That's pretty interesting.
It sure be.
Another thing I've been studying and learning is that the Romans culture, even the original culture before they even met the Greeks and the Carthaginians, were all Etruscans.
Etruscans?
Yeah, apparently there was a group of people that came from, they say, either Anatolia or the Asiatic steppes.
Tell them where Anatolia is located, bro.
In Greece? Like,
is that
no, that's over there in the Middle East.
Or like Turkey?
Yeah,
there you
it's
go.
over there located in Turkey.
So modern day Turkey.
Well, they either came from over there, they sailed over there and made it to Italy.
So they settled in Turkey and they went and they traveled to Italy too?
They said no. These people did not like what was going on over there. So they decided to migrate. This is a whole group of people decided to migrate to the northern part of Italy. But there was another group of people that did the same thing and located more southern of the peninsula of Italy. Those were the Romans. And then the Etruscans came. Well, the Etruscans came at... They date them about 1197 BC. That's where I want to say they started their civilization. Rome started theirs in 1156. So it was a few years afterwards.
that was like way before they even had a republic, right?
Pretty much.
For sure.
These were some pussy ass Romans. Let's put it to you that way.
What would you say, Rome? I mean, Vina?
This was before, Rome would eventually become a republic, but this is their origins.
Right. Basically. But the Etruscans were the ones that had everything you see that is Roman today. This is what the teacher had said, is all because of the Etruscans.
Yeah, I think my history teacher told me that too.
The Etruscans came up with the arches, as far as arches for the buildings,
The domes and shit.
domes. They developed, all the aqueducts, the road system. Basically, everything that you see as Roman, the Romans took it from the Etruscans.
And And there's what Romo's getting at is that Romans jacked another culture's stuff. Well, there's another instance of the I'll tell you another instance of the Romans jacking another culture's stuff. The Greeks, who were the originators of writing and philosophy and art and all this stuff. Basically, music, all this. The Greeks invented. Well, after the Romans conquered the Greeks, after they ganked them, they stole their culture. They tried to steal their culture by copying their myths. Like in Greek culture, you had Odysseus and the story of the Iliad. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
And the Romans were like, well, we want our own hero like that. So they commissioned someone to write the bootleg, and the bootleg is Aeneas. That's